Hello and good evening. Welcome to DeWitt 3D Canada, everybody. I am so happy to see you all here. I'm hoping my audio is working because it was a last second when I realized I didn't set the right microphone in StreamYard, but I think we have it now. Let's see who we have. Jose Ferreira is always first. I mean, man, you are early. I like that. 3:14 p.m. Wow, you were early. We have Joe Galaska on. We have Guy the Jedi. Hello. Let's see who else. Poor Boy Channel is here. Cliff D, Stan Reimer, Shadell 3D, Jay Cannon, Teza, Friendship Lights, HVAC A to Z, Sergio. Hello, hello. And wow. Hand pink waving. Hey, bag of chips. How are you? Well, I'm just going to double check over here and hear myself talk, I hope. Let's see. Yes, I do hear myself talk. So I do have audio because I don't trust you guys to say, no, I can't hear you. Pardon me. So we have something a little different for our Sunday night stream tonight. As you guys saw from the thumbnail, we are unboxing and going to set up. It's going to be a really quick unboxing setup. And we'll get printing on a new printer here that we've received. Not a new printer in the sense of it's a brand new state-of-the-art printer, but it's a new printer on my channel. King, I'll get this out of the way off the top of the stream. Kingroon did send me this printer and did request that I live stream the unboxing and assembly and printing. So they sent me the printer as well as a roll of Kingroon PLA filament, red filament. I like that they sent me red filament instead of the standard white. There we go. So yes, and Neil W is here as well, and DBR it is here. Joseph Jolly has popped in, The Apprentice. Look at everybody. 17 of y'all are here. Awesome. And Neil says, anybody seen or use the Chaotic Lab right angle bracket for squaring 2020? I've never heard of that. Neil, never heard of that myself. So I'd be curious to see what that is for squaring 2020 brackets. That would be great for those Voron and rat rig builds. Well, wouldn't work on the rat rig because they're 30-30 extrusions. So I'm going to grab myself a little drink here. So yeah, we are going to put this printer together. Now, I know there's going to be, there may not be people out there saying, hey, Leo the Human, hello. They're going to be saying, Tim, why are you taking on a little tiny little printer like this when you've been building your Vorons, your rat rigs, you've got your Bamboo Lab? Well, I like to look at all printers from all aspects of the hobby, right from the high-end guys like we were looking at, like the Vorons and the rat rigs, et cetera, right down to these little guys that are really affordable if somebody wants to dip their foot into the hobby and they don't want to spend a lot. Like we're looking, I believe it's $199 US for this little guy here. And they even have the previous version of this, which is the non-pro version, I believe, for $149 US or $159, something like that. So, but my experience, this is going to be my third Kingroon printer that I've had experience with. They did send me the KP3S standard version a while back. And I've been very happy with the results that I've gotten off this little printer for what it is. And I think for the little amount of money that it costs to dip your foot into this hobby, I think you get some pretty cool features on this little printer, considering how much it costs. So, I mean, it's no Voron, it's no Bamboo Lab, but it is a great little printer. So it's a very good printer. And they've actually, you're digging the King Kong print. Oh, Poor Boy Channel, the King Kong thing. I discovered something today that kind of blew my mind. And it's like, okay, my King Kong print I'm doing was meant to be. And once we get this printer set up and going, I'll explain what I mean there. And I just find it really funny. Neil says he saw them, and Friendship Lights looks like an interesting machine. It is quite an interesting machine. One thing that I'm going to point out that they did on this one, which I was a little disappointed with, but I think they've come back to it on the next version of this, which we'll talk about. Neil said he saw them listed on West 3D, but out of stock. Yeah, you just purchased Creality CR10 Smart Pro 3D printer. Cool, very nice. Hey, non-fam, hello. Who else is here? There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get this guy out of the box. So this is going to be part of this video that we're doing live is going to be going into my part of my final cut together, mildly edited video for this printer. So we'll have an intro for it and et cetera, but I'm going to be using a lot of this clip because it's not going to take long to put this together from my experience in the past with these printers. So anyways, let's get at it. So let's get the filament out of the way and let's get the unboxing of the Kingroon KP3S Pro going. Let's go. And if I ignore chat a little bit, it's just because I'm going to be focusing on this. And after we get it all set up and so forth, I will get back to chat and we'll answer questions and, you know, comments, et cetera, but I'll try and keep an eye on it as I go. So there we go. Angus Young from the UK. Good evening. Hello. And Will is here. Yes. And wow. And if I miss saying hello to you because I'm too busy focused on this, forgive me, and I'll catch y'all up a little bit later. So let's go ahead and open it. I did open the box. I wanted to make sure nothing was damaged in shipping, but I have not unpacked the box. I just opened it, took a look in, made sure that everything was in place and no shipping damage because it did ship from China, and everything looks okay. So this will be my first time pulling things out of the box. So Kingroon, Kingroon, do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. So let's get an overhead view of this guy here. Let's go ahead and give you a little closer look of when I open it here. Boom, there we go. So we open her up to the standard. We have the manual on top right away, the assembly manual, which is going to come in a little handy, although it's not a really hard printer to assemble. And then we have, let's see, we have a bag, we have a power cord, always comes in handy. Let's go ahead and put that over here, and we have another bag. Oh, okay, now this, everybody has their opinion on this. We have a, oh, there's the camera. We have a sample spool of filament, okay? You know what we do with this, right? We all love these sample spools. Okay, so anyways, that's what I do with sample spools, as I think we all do. I'd rather not receive a sample spool. I'd rather just receive either a 1 kilogram spool of filament, which they did send outside the box, but this does not come normally standard with the printer. They just sent this to me as an add-on. But if you're going to send some sample filament, send a half a kilogram roll, even a 1/4 kilogram roll. Just don't send samples in an envelope like that, in my opinion. We have a little package here, which I believe is tools, spare parts. So in our spare parts, we have our standard nozzle needle, our acupuncture needle for clearing the nozzle. We have our standard set of snippers. We have a Bowden tube. Looks like it's not a reverse Bowden tube. It's just a 1.75 inch PTFE tubing. And we have our USB cable. We have a couple strips of Velcro for some reason. Is it adhesive Velcro? It's not adhesive Velcro. It's just loose Velcro. And we have our micro USB, our micro SD card. We have 3 spare nozzles. We have Z-axis screw. So I'm not sure what we're going to use those for. We have our little toolkit with a wrench and some hex keys, a couple of wrenches, and another nozzle. So there's 4 nozzles in it. And it looks like we have our assembly bolts. And that's just the cover off of the snippers that obviously just came off here. So that's our little toolkit here. Don't know what that Velcro's for. Oh, the Velcro's probably to tie the PTFE tube up to the, on its way down to the hot end. So, okay, so let's pull out this first piece. There we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing, which is really interesting, is that we have a glass bed. We have a carborundum print surface versus on the old KP3S. I'll just get over here and grab it. On the old KP3S, we had this, what I don't like, but it's sufficient, it worked, but we had this little flimsy flexible build surface which I like a flexible build surface, but I like a metal flex build plate versus these things damage just too easy, especially for somebody new in the hobby. If you happen to screw up your Z offset on your initial run, you can just kill your bed, which I guess you could do on glass if you really do a major screw up. So, oh, and over here we have another pet peeve of mine is in here we have our spool holder. Oh, I don't like these. Kingroon. You got to come up with a built-in spool holder, which I believe, don't quote me, but I believe the next version, the version 2, they have added the spool holder to the top of the printer. But these, I guess, work better than nothing. They're for holding your little spool of filament, and you just feed it off to the side. Okay. We'll live with it. It is what it is. Okay, now we have our gantry, which is a separate piece right here that we're going to have to plug in. So let's see how we're going to get this out of here. Just want to be careful when I lift. Okay, here we go. There is our gantry that's got to be attached. Our cable's attached there. I'm going to put that down for a minute and give you a wider view, because if I drop this, I want to get it on camera. No, I won't drop it. Let's grab this out of here. Oh, here we go. Okay, there's the whole assembly here. We'll just set that off to the side here. And in here we have our Z lead screw. Z or Z, depending on where you're from. Our Z-axis T8 lead screw. And I believe that is it. Let's just lift this up and see if there's any surprises. And there are no surprises. There we go. Let's put that aside. Whoa. See, that almost fell. Okay, let's switch back over to this guy here. Here we go. So there it is. Now, another big difference between this one and the standard KPS, which I'll bring up, I have it sitting just over here, is this has the power supply built in. I love that. I was never a fan of the external power supply, so I'm really glad they've done that. And we'll go over the features as we build it here, but a few things I can see that are key already is we have a filament runout sensor here, which they never had on the previous version. And it looks like they got much better wire management on this one as well. And as I say, the build plate, and that's the other thing, is the build volume on this one is 200 by 200 by 200. And the build volume on the previous version, the non-pro version, was 180 by 180 by, I believe, 180 cubed. So that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the manual here. I could just attempt to put it together without looking at the manual, but hey, this is me and I would screw something up. So yeah, let's grab our tools and our bolts out here, get them ready. We won't need our spare nozzles probably. Okay. And let's go ahead and look at the manual. And first thing we're going to do is, so that it's just telling us that it's taking a 325 by 320 millimeter desktop space. So it's very compact. We have our cantilever system up here. And it's just telling us everything we have in here and we need. So first thing we're going to do is install the cantilever into the base and tighten the screws. So screws are going to go in from the back here. So the cantilever just simply lifts up. And it is going to slide in to the groove here. Simply slide into the groove here. Let's see. There we go. And make sure we get it straight down. There's nothing, we don't have a Z lead screw, so we're just going to be really careful just to set that down nice and lightly. And are my holes lined up? Let's just have a quick peek. And it looks like my holes are lined up there. Okay. So we'll grab our hardware here. Hey, David Wilson. Linear rails, yes. Well, okay. Poor boy, I'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, linear rails on the X and Y. I'm sorry, linear rails on the X and Z. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to forego their tools. And I do this, and I've had flack before. People say, well, you should use the tools that come with the printer. Well, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's just a hex key. So I'm going to use my hex key. We're going to screw this cantilever in. Okay, I'm not going to tighten that yet until we get the second one in. So 2 screws straight in the back here. Let's see, maybe if I give you this view here, and if I zoom this view in, you might be able to see what I'm doing here a little better. And if I lift that up right there. There we go. So yeah, there's just 2 holes in the back here that are screwing into the extrusion here. There we go. If I kind of level that, it makes the screw going easier and will not allow me to strip that screw. And we'll snug that one up. And snug that one up. There's our cantilever in place. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch back here. Next. And then we're putting 2 M5s in from underneath. So we got to turn it over. And there's 2 holes underneath for the M5s, 2 of the short ones. So they're giving you spare screws here. I am just going to put this box in here to hold this up. Oh, that'll work while I get these screws out. And they give you a spare of each size screw. Okay. Hey, Duff. And Nuno Vicente. Hello, hello. Okay. So these are screwing into the bottom of that extrusion that went in there. I don't believe they included these bottom ones on the original KP3S. Now, my very first KP3S was really old. It had a really old hot end. It was not a direct drive hot end. It was a Bowden-fed hot end. So, and then the second one that they sent me did have the direct drive hot end with a few other improvements. Okay, those 2 are in. We can stand this back up carefully because we still haven't got a Z lead screw in here. Okay. That was the KP3, correct, Nuno Vincent. Then the KP3S came out with the direct drive, which is a Titan clone. But they call it a Titan hot end. It's really a Titan clone, but it's a nice hot end actually. So, okie doke. Now, we still haven't. When are they going to have that Z lead screw installed here? Because let me just see. They have not. Huh. They don't tell you in the instructions here. Step 2. Oh, there we are. Step 2. Okay, it just doesn't make it very clear. Insert the T8 lead screw into the coupler and tighten the set screw in it. Okay, so we're going to take the Z screw here. We got some tape covering it here. So let's see if this overhead camera will give you a better view of what I'm doing here. There we go. So we're going to just remove, they got a little bit of tape covering the screw hole here. There we go. So we're going to insert from the top, and we're going to insert it into the anti-backlash bushing. There we go. And down into the stepper. Now I just need to find, there it is. Okay, so we are all the way down. Let me see if I can give you a good view of that. So right there, you can see the coupler right there. And we've put the lead Z screw down into there. Now we just got to tighten that coupler, which I believe is an M3. Let's see if this is going to fit or if I need a smaller one. Oh, not quite. No, I think I need a 2mm. This guy here. There it is. So we'll just tighten that down. I don't know if it has Loctite on it. I'm not going to worry about it right now. And just for good measure, I'm going to make sure the bottom one's snug. So there's our Z lead screw in. These are supposed to be a little loose, so there's a bit of play there. So it looks like we're good there. But we should be able to bring up the whole gantry now. And it's got a fair bit of grease on it, so I'm not worrying about lubricating it. It seems to be very well lubed right off the bat. Okay. We got that down. Those couplers tend to bend, yeah. Well, I mean, for the price you pay, they've got to have some, I guess, some places where they cut cost. So now, here's the one thing that I found was different, but I can see why they did this. So now we've got linear rails on the Z, and we've got linear rails on the X, which is awesome. But what they've done on the original KP3S, they had linear rails on the Y, but it was a single rail. Oh, they do have linear rails on this. Well, then why? Where are they looking? Is there wheels and rails? Okay, well, they've definitely done an upgrade to this. Looking in the manual, okay. Let's get this saran wrap off the bed here first. Okay, because the book, that's interesting. They are linear rails. Okay, well then they've updated this printer since they've done the manual, because if you look in the manual, at the very bottom step there, they tell you the Y-axis may become loose in delivery, so use the wrench to adjust the eccentric nuts under the bed. And they have, and that's why I was assuming they had, I was going to say, man, they went from linear rails and put on the wheels, but they haven't. They're linear rails on here, so I don't need to adjust those wheels. Well, I'm impressed, Kingroon. We have linear rails on X, Y, and Z. And what they've done on this one is we've got dual linear rails, which is a lot more solid on the bed than the initial one, which was a single linear rail. So good on them. And then the other addition that we see on here is we have belt tensioners on the Y and on the X. We have belt tensioners so we can tension our belts, which is something new. They seem pretty, oh no, they're pretty snug. They're not bad. Let's see. Yeah, the belts are pretty much tensioned as they are. Okay, so I can skip the, I don't have to fiddle with eccentric nuts. That's awesome. Yeah, the original KP3S only had one linear rail on the Y. Yes, definitely. So there we are. So that's, I think that's it for the build. We'll check our voltage, 110 to 230 volt. Okay, I'm glad that I always forget to do that. And it's not such a big deal here, but it is a big deal overseas. So we are on 115 volt already. Okay, so that has already been switched. And that's just a little switch on the side of the printer here. Okay. And that's it. We can power it up. Okay, so I'm just going to check. I believe the bed has, yes, it does. So we have clips on the bed to hold the glass on. So you can add a magnetic surface and a flexible build plate to this if you want. So I'm just going to pop these clips off. I'm going to switch to the camera over here again. That worked. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to pop these bed clips off. And then there is the build surface, the carbundium glass. And we have a, looks like they have, oh, no, it's just a weird color. It almost looks like, oh, there is. So there is also plastic on the hot plate here. So we got to make sure we peel that off, because we don't want to be melting that. So let's go ahead with my 0 fingernails, and we're going to peel this plastic off. Did I tighten the 2 screws on the Z screw that hold the bearing? No. Did they leave that out of the manual as well? Let's see. Let me just see if that's in the manual. No, there's nothing in there about tightening those two up. Now, I don't know how tight. I think you're speaking that hold the bearing. So the bearing in here. Oh, this bearing. Oh, I see. Okay. They're not. Oh, they are a little bit loose. They are a little bit loose. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, John. That was not in the manual. So there's a couple things I need to change on the manual, and I will give the feedback to my person there and let them know that. And they really also, they really need to point out in the manual as well. I'm just looking to make sure that they don't do it and that I'm missing it. And I don't see that they've done it now. Okay, the plastic on the glass is pretty obvious. Okay, but they really need to point out in the manual to take the plastic off of the hot plate here, because there is definitely plastic here. Because it's chipped right here. There's a little part of it that's chipped right here, so I can see. So you want to take this plastic off, because if you heat this bed up, you're going to have a pretty sticky situation. So, but I have no fingernails and I cannot seem to get a corner. But I can probably work right off of that little piece that was ripped off as it was. Let's see. I think this is supposed to come off. I would assume this should come off, because you don't want a plastic coating on your bed that's going to get quite hot. The x-axis doesn't appear to be parallel. That's interesting. There may be an adjustment for that if that's the case. That's hard to see from here. I'll measure that. Let's lift that up. I'll measure that and we'll have a look at that. But right now, I just need to try and get, there it is. I got a corner. There we go. Because I can see somebody missing the fact that there's a coating of plastic on top of this build plate, on top of this hot plate. There we go. Because yeah, you don't want to be printing and melting this stuff. So they need to put that in the manual to make sure that this gets peeled off. There we go. Yeah. That wouldn't be pretty. Okay. And then we'll peel the glass. This one's pretty obvious, but again, it doesn't hurt to mention it. Two screws that might need to be tightened on the X carriage, John says. We'll have a look at that. Let's put these clips back in. 1, 2, a tree, and 4. I don't mind the carbidium glass. So I know the two screws you're talking there, John, and they don't look like they're loose, but never judge a book by its cover. So I think you were talking, there's two screws right back here that are holding the gantry on, and they are extremely, very, very snug. And we have another couple right up here. We'll just give this a quick check, and it might be an optical illusion that makes them look like they are not even, but we'll see. What size is that? It's going to be this one. A couple on the front here. We'll just make sure that all these are snug. These are really snug. These are good. Okay. Everything's good here. Everything seems to be tightened that should be tightened. So let's have a quick peek here. So there it is from the front. Let me grab my measuring device. Let me just see. If I go, I don't have a metric one here, but we are 4.5. Actually, it's pretty even from the bed. It's not bad. We'll see what happens. Yes, absolutely it would. Okay. So without further ado, let's find my plug. Here we go. We'll plug her in, and then we will make sure that it's the fisheye lens you're using. Yeah, yeah. Well, the cameras, I mean, okay, now that I look at the screen and see what you guys are seeing, I can see how you can kind of see that it's going a little higher maybe on this end or something, yeah. But for me, looking at it, it looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll plug it in. I love the internal power supply, much preferred. We'll plug her in. Now we have this tiny little touchscreen here. A tiny little touchscreen, like we've had on all the other ones, which again, not my favorite, but hey, so we'll pull the plastic off that tiny little touchscreen. And there's been some mods. There are mods out there that you can, there we go, that you can bring that touchscreen up on an angle and off to the side if you choose to. So let's go ahead and power it on. Now I'm going to see, I have a new camera here. Not a new camera, it's an old camera being repurposed. It's for streaming and for close-ups. So I want to see if I can get this to work for you guys so you can see the screen when I power on. So let me go ahead and make sure this camera is working. I haven't set it up on my Stream Deck yet, so I have to kind of like quote unquote manually start and stop the camera. There we go. So there's the view of there. So now if I turn this down, can I get you guys a view of the screen here? I can sort of get you a view of the screen here. And there we go. Let's see what happens when I turn the power on. Boop. We have a beep, and we have our logo. Look at that. Yay! And there's our simple screen. Hard to get that. Kind of hard to give you a good view of that, but there we go. So we have power and everything's working. Yeah, it's not the best screen, is it, John? No. But you know what? The newer version has Clipper built in, so we don't have to worry about that. So we have home, preheat, move, leveling. So the first thing they're suggesting we do is level the bed. Yeah, it can be used for leveling if the distance, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is level. And again, we manual level on this. And if I'm not mistaken, the newer one, let's get back over to this guy here. If I'm not mistaken, the newer one, the Pro version, has automatic bed leveling as well, which a lot of these printers are coming in and getting and doing. So for this guy, we are going to go ahead and say level. And we will go to 0.1. Now I'm going to be very careful with my hand on the power because I'm assuming that they have set their Z limit switch properly, but you just can never tell. So we are going to have hand on power as the nozzle comes towards the bed. And I think I need to move this clip. I do. This clip has to go off to the side. There we go. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. Oh, and it's perfect. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now we're going to go to 0.1. Okay, I think we're good. So let me grab a piece of paper. Leveling the old-fashioned way. Okay, now, I know there's people out there saying you got to warm up your nozzle in your bed when you do this, and I agree. But for now, they don't tell you that. So I'm following the manual is what I'm following. But yeah, definitely I would suggest putting your nozzle to at least 150 in your bed to at least 50 or 60 to do this. So let's just go ahead and, oh, are these springs ever loose? Okay, so right now, I'm not getting any, oh, wow. Okay, so what's happening here is if we look down really, really low, and I mean really low, these springs are not compressed at all. So if I loosen this to bring the bed up to the nozzle, that knob's going to fall right off. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten these springs up, compress these springs almost fully. This is just what I do on manual beds like this. At least they've got those good heavy-duty springs. Give them credit for that. They're not using the cheap, thin silver springs. They're using the heavy-duty yellow springs on this. So we're going to tighten those springs right up. And that has given me about a good 3 or 4, actually even a 5 millimeter gap there. We're going to do the same on the back. Tighten these springs up, not fully, but about 75% of the way is what I'm doing them. Oh yeah, this one's almost ready to fall off. So here we go. Okay, and again, this isn't in the manual, but this is what I recommend. And this I just go by feel. Yeah, tighten all the springs and set the Z end stop. Exactly what I'm doing, John. Yeah. Okay. So the springs are pretty much tightened. Make sure I'm getting them about even, about equal. I don't want to go fully tight because I do want a little bit of up and down adjustment for when I'm doing the leveling. Okay. Now to set the Z end stop on this guy, first thing, let me just move that up out of the way here. Okay, so let me go move, and I want to move Z up, and we're going to move it up by 10 millimeter increments just to get it up out of the way. So there's a little thumb screw right here, and by either loosening or tightening that thumb screw, it's going to allow the gantry to go up or down more. And in this case, we want it to go down more because we have totally lowered the bed by tightening those screws. So I'm going to take a wild guess, and this is sort of going to be a hit and miss situation. I'm going to give that good 4 turns because I did lower that bed a good 5 millimeters. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I'm going to home. I'm going to home Z. And I'm going to be way too, yeah, I'm way too high. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Let's move that up out of the way. Then we're going to tighten this down, probably another 4 or 5 complete turns. Oh, that is very tight. Oh, that is a tight spring. Let me grab a screwdriver. That is extremely tight. It's got a spring on it, so and I think I've kind of maxed that spring. See if I can get this in here and move that. There we go. So I'm going to move that at least 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go 4 full turns on that. See what that does for me. Okay, so we're going to home Z. Let's move you back. Here we go. And yeah, we're still high. We're still high by a fair bit. Okay, trial and error here. I just don't want to crash into the bed with the nozzle is what I'm trying to avoid doing here. Hey, Mika Steve. Hey, Lightspeed. How are you? Okay, we'll come up a little bit more. Now this spring is very tight, so this is going to be really difficult to turn. Now I'm just looking. I can't lower that end stop switch anymore. Yeah, so it's all in this screw. It's all in this screw I'm tightening. I'm almost better off, I wonder, getting a coin and getting it down there than trying to get this screwdriver down there. Oh, that is fully tight. That is extremely tight. I may have bottomed that screw out. Now, the other option... No, I can't. Okay, well, let's see how close I am. I've bottomed that screw out. Yeah, that is bottomed out without breaking anything. So let's go back. Let's home Z again. See how far off we are. I'm going to have to loosen those springs off, I bet. Yeah, I'm off. Yeah, fair bit. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go back. Let's go back to leveling. Let's go ahead and see how far I've got to raise those springs. Hopefully I can get a little bit of tension in the springs. Okay. Yeah. Because I can't lower that screw anymore. Oh, see, and there's another thing that I was moving the knobs and my hand hit the display. So that's one negative of it is that, and I've done that on the other one as well, is you accidentally hit the display. Your adjusters are barely tensioned. Yeah. These are this screw. Now, you could take this screw out and put a shorter screw in here so that you can lower your gantry more, because I've got to raise this a good 3 millimeters in order to actually touch the nozzle to the bed here. And I may as well do the back ones while I'm doing it, because I'm going to have to adjust all 4. But again, that's a minor thing. You want these springs tensioned really well, but you can only do so much. There we go. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we're not nearly as tensioned as I'd like to be. And I think I'm going to heat the nozzle, because I also have filament sticking out of the nozzle as well. So I'm going to go back, heat that nozzle up. Let's heat it up to, since I have filament sticking out, I'm going to heat it up to 200. There we go. And let's heat the bed up while we're at it. Why not? Should be doing this with a warm bed and warm nozzle anyways, in my opinion. And since we have some filament sticking to the nozzle and sticking out, we're not going to get an accurate level if we don't get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, these have yellow springs on them, Steve. These do have yellow springs, which is good. So the other thing that I find interesting is when it homes with the nozzle off the bed. Okay, there we go. We have drippage. They had blue filament in here for their test, obviously. So we'll just let that filament work its way out of there. Okay, we're warm now. Okay, let's go ahead and try that leveling again now that we're warmed up. 0.1. Yeah, we got all the filament out of the nozzle. Okay. Okay, 0.1. Okay. Okay, that's good. 0.2. 5-point leveling. Assisted leveling, I guess you want to call this. Okay. Okay, we're good there. 0.3. And we're going to go around a few times because this was so out of whack. This one's got to come fairly loose. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm definitely going to, oh, this is undone all the way. I cannot raise that bed any further here. That knob's going to fall off. So let's go to 0.4 and see if that works itself out. 0.4, there we go. This one I can't get any closer. Oops, don't tighten it, loosen it. Oh, that's tightening. Lefty loosey. Come on, Tim, lefty loosey. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we have grip there. Let's go back to 0.1. I'm worried about this back corner. Okay, 0.2. Mm-hmm. There we go. And now let's go back to 0.3. See if this is any better. Oh, there we go. We got a little bit of grip now, but I had to loosen that off a lot. Okay, and back to 0.4. Then we'll check the middle. You never print back there, John says. Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, loosen this one. There we go. Oh yeah, they're moving far too easy for my liking. They're moving so easy that I think vibration could loosen them off a bit. So yeah, I will definitely be shortening this screw in order to lower that down a little bit more so we can get our Z to home a lot lower. So I'm just going to double check 0.1 again, and I think we're going to be okay. Oh no, 0.1's loosened up again. That's why we got to go around a few times. Okay, we'll just go around once more, 0.2. That's why I like auto leveling. It does all this for you, and you don't have to worry about screws. And we're good there, 0.3. 0.3, I said. There we go. Yeah, we're good. And 4. And we're good. Let's check the middle. 0.5. Come on, be there. Don't be saggy in the middle of the bed. Oh, look at that. I like that. Okay, I've got the same pressure in the middle as I do on all 4 corners. That's rare on a thin bed like this. Mind you, we have glass, which doesn't hurt. Okay, we're level. We're level, and we have our Z offset set. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's home it. Let's home all. I just want to see where this thing is going to home. Yeah, it homes with the nozzle off the bed, so that may need to be changed. Well, that's all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and load some filament up. Move. Let's raise the Z up some here. Okay. It's not a Creality bed. No, similar. It's a Kingroon bed. Okay, we've got this thing leveled finally. Add filament. Yep, it's fine. Print via TF card. Okay, so we're going to add the filament that they gave us, which is Kingroon PLA red. Now, I have previous experience with Kingroon filament. They have sent me 2 or 3 rolls in the past to try out, and I've been very happy with the Kingroon filament. As a matter of fact, the King Kong I'm printing, all the gray parts, which I'll show you after, all the gray parts of the King Kong are printed in Kingroon gray filament, and it runs really well. So there we go. Very well sealed. Their filament, I don't know who makes their filament. From what I understand, some of the other, they're made from a third party, like, I don't know, Sunlu or something like that. I don't know who makes Kingroon, but whoever makes their filament, their wind, I mean, it's very nicely wound. And it seems to be a really good quality filament from the experiences I've had. So now I guess I've got to deal with, well, first of all, we need to run our filament. Let's see, we got to hook up our filament line with the PTFE tube, which in the manual, not that I don't know how to do it, I'm just looking at this from somebody buying this printer. In the manual, they don't mention anything about, or do they? Let's just see before I'm a liar. They don't mention anything about running your PTFE tube or where to put it or how to do it. So it's possible that somebody that doesn't know what this is might just say, okay, let's just stick the filament in right into the extruder, and they would bypass the runout sensor. But there's nothing in the book about what to do with this. First Kong you made was all Polymaker. Well, this one is, the gray is all Kingroon, and all the other colors, mind you, there's not a lot of red, as you know. I think there's one piece in red. It's all Polymaker, everything else. So let's see, we're going to go in the filament sensor. There's nothing on the bottom of this. Let me cut a piece of filament off here. I just want to see how their filament path is supposed to work here, but I'm pretty sure. So it's going to go in the filament sensor. So we're going to have PTFE from the filament sensor into here. So it's going to run up from the bottom of the filament sensor is what I'm guessing. Where's my snippers? Hey, Chris Travis. Just the eyes. Yeah, just the eyes that are red. That one little red. I loaded the red filament, Stephen, and I said, okay, well, let's get all our red pieces together. And I was like, and I ran it on the Voron, and I said, that's it? It took like 30 seconds. Well, it was, okay, I exaggerate. It was really easy to run. I'm just going to grab a slice of this. I just want to see. So yeah, I'm going to mention that they need to have a little bit more clear instructions. Now, maybe online they do. So this should go straight up through here. The light comes on. Yep. So you see here that when there's filament in there, you can see that light just above where I'm putting the filament in. We do have a light that comes on when there's filament in there. Okay, and then if we come down this way, I believe, oh, there's the path there. Okay, so we're going to have to go from here into the extruder, into here, from here, and that's what the Velcro's for, although this may be a little bit long. I think this is a bit long because we can't really, I guess I can attach Velcro to here. I don't think I need that Velcro because there's this free movement right here. So we grab our high quality spool holder here. You just bypass the sensor and hung the feeling. Yeah, you can. On a printer this big, are you going to run out of filament? Can you actually get a 1 kilogram model on a printer this size? I don't know. Mind you, if you have a partial roll of filament. I'm not a fan. I don't like this setup. I'm going to be honest. I really don't. On my previous ones, I have, and I can't do it as easy on this one. There's a mod you can get where you can put a spool holder off the top of this. Now on the next version, the V2, they do have a spool holder on the top of this. So okay, so let's go right through here. We're going to run up through the filament sensor and into the Bowden tube. And we're going to open this up and push it down. Okay, well, we'll just push it in until we... Now let's see if it's actually going to feed. Okay, let's go move. Extruder. 10 millimeters. Is that as far as I can go? 10 millimeters, and we will in. Are we loading? Let's see. No, we're not loading. I didn't quite get it in far enough. I got to cut the end here. The end's got a little blob. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. There we go. Now if I go in, now we're pulling filament. Here we go. Here, let me move this. Oh, I hate this. I really hate this. Just want to move this over to the side so you can kind of see what's going on here. They've improved on this, which is good. I mean, there's no sense in saying, come on, Kingroon, because they have improved on this on the V2, on the second version. So hopefully that's stable enough. And let's go ahead and feed filament until we have something coming out. It's like watching paint dry. Pot, hello, kettle. Nothing. Oh, we got some old blue coming out. Let's go some more. I hope so. I hit the button. Are we not feeding? What's going on? Oh yeah, we're feeding, but just 10 millimeters at a time. I like to feed. I would love that button to say 50 millimeters, so you can just throw it in, feed 50 millimeters, up to 50 millimeters, so you can thoroughly push out your old filament. 10 at a time it's just painful. But again, on the V2, they've got Clipper, and on Clipper, you can have all those wishes. Okay, I'll do it again. Now we got red coming out now. And let's do it one more time. Okay. Good. I complain a lot, but hey, this is just a minor thing. Okay, so we have our red coming out, no problem. We've purged all that old blue out. Now we are ready for a print. Steven, do I want to hear all that? Okay, where did I put the micro SD card? Right here. Where is the micro SD card slot? It is right here next to the USB port. I really like how they've beefed up their cable management here. It's a whole lot better than it used to be. Yeah, definitely a lot better than it used to be. Let's see if they've improved their micro SD slot here, because used to be you could lose this card in the frame. Now, if I just do this blindly without even looking, not a big deal. Okay, let's see what's on the card. Let's go printing. We have a whole bunch of anybody read Chinese? I have wow, user manual. Okay, I can read that. System, software drivers, software, STLs. Oh, let's look in there. No files found. Well, let's push this first one. There's 2 G-code files on here, but I cannot. There's 4 G-code files, but I cannot read them. So let's just pick the first one, and let's print it. Don't know what. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it is. I'm going to be you're going to be just as surprised as me to see what we print. Okay. Oh, I didn't clean the bed. And I think I got to move that clip. I have a feeling that clip's in the way of the nozzle. There we go. I didn't clean the bed, but we'll see. Maybe I didn't need to. And our first layer is not bad. Our purge line stuck pretty good. If we have a failure on the first layer, I'm not going to blame the printer. I didn't clean the bed. I should have. But brand new bed. Yeah, I got a little piece there that's not sticking. Let's move it out of the way. Let's go ahead and get you guys zoomed in here a little bit with the new camera, the old new camera. Let's see if I can get this to show what's going on here. There we are. Not a bad picture from this camera, really, when you think about it. And I can actually zoom in and get, I think, a decent picture on it. Oh, it's a Benchy. I know that shape anywhere. It's a Benchy. First one was a butt plug. Teza. But I'm pretty sure, and I think you can all agree with me based on the shape and the look, I'm pretty sure it's a Benchy. Hey, Thomas Lama, how are you, sir? A butt plug. Yeah. That's why they didn't translate it. Oh man. Let me go ahead and add, let me add another camera to this one so you guys can see the look on my face just in case it is what it is. I don't want to add a new scene. I want to add a new device to this scene. And we're going to add existing, and we're going to add the ATEM. There we are. And then I'm going to make this smaller. Doo-doo-doo-doo. You like the ride yet? Everybody enjoying the ride? There we go. So it's a Benchy. Let's see how long the Benchy goes. Yep, it's a Benchy for sure. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a Bamboo Lab compatible speed Benchy, but that's okay. It's not a bad print. It should. We should be able to get the Benchy finished on the stream. I like a test print that I can finish on stream, and I like playing with the focus. This is a very, very shallow depth of field lens. I have not figured out on this particular camera setup how I can control the aperture yet. I don't know if I can. So meantime, while this is printing, so we know it's a Benchy. We'll let it print. I don't like necessarily, if you look in behind here, I don't know if it'd be an issue, but I don't like back here. Well, I don't like how those belt ends are dragging so low to the bed here, these guys. I can see that knocking a model loose if it's a big model. I'm gonna have to look at that. Those are actually pretty close. Those are very close to the bed. You guys all see what I mean back here? I can see that knocking a model loose. If you're doing 2 or 3 models and it scooches over to another one, I can see that being an issue. That's something that may need to be fixed. Did I finish the arc? We're going to talk about the arc in a bit, Stephen. My panels should be cut this week. I'm getting 2 sets of panels cut. 2 complete sets of panels, $54. Canadian. Oh, it hasn't been an issue on that one yet, Stephen? Okay. It just to me looks like it would hit something. But okay, not a big deal. But I definitely want to adjust the Z end stop screw because yeah, I would prefer my bed springs to be a fair bit tighter than they are. So anyways, what I was going to do, while this is printing a little bit, is let's just move this. Do I dare do this with this really stable spool holder? Let's move that over there a little bit. And let's just bring up the KP3S. So here we are. Here's the little brother, I guess, or the older version. So main differences, and this is quite a capable printer, don't get me wrong. The Lightspeed 3D doesn't print very often, so don't trust him. No, I've seen his channel and I've seen stuff he does. He does a lot. This is a very capable printer. Other than it's got a few things I don't like. Again, same spool holder, not a fan of. External power supply, it works, and I guess depends on your setup. It's a smaller bed. It's 180 by 180. This is 200 by 200 by 200. This only has a single linear rail on the Z. If I face it forward, we've got a single linear rail for the Z, so we don't have as much. I mean, I can wobble that bed a little bit. I mean, not bad. So we have linear rail for X, Y, and Z, except just the single. Oh, sorry, we don't. Z, on this one, we have wheels on Z. Sorry, on this one. But we do have an X linear rail and a Y linear rail, but Z wheels. So they've improved by adding a Z linear rail. We have support at the top of the lead screw for this guy here. We have a bearing for supporting the top of the lead screw. It looks like they've got a little better anti-backlash system on this one over here. Okay. This does not have filament runout sensor. It is basically the exact same hot end setup. It's the Titan clone hot end. So it's the exact same hot end setup. So that's no different. Let's see what else. Build volume size. So yeah, and this one here, you can actually pop this cap off and put a filament holder up there if you want. And I'm sure you can do that on this one as well. Oh yes, thank you. John Strand belt tensioners. This guy, the Pro, has belt tensioners on the X and Y. This one does not. I've not had to tension these belts, but all that said and done, this is a capable little printer, because here's a print I've done on that, this print was done on the KP3S standard version. And it's a print of it's basically a sample box for printing filament samples, but this is a really decent print. Look at that. I mean, it was printed flat like this. Okay, I added the screws in for the hinges, but that is a really clean, nice print off that little KP3S. I mean, that is decent. That was on their new, which they sent me, their new flexible builds plate with obviously a shiny flat surface on it. There's a few marks on there from me scratching it up, but that is a decent print off that printer. So yeah. And that was done on this guy. So this had the standard flexible cheap crap. This guy. This had the flexible magnet on it. And then they went and sent me their flexible build plate. Okay, with a PEI surface on it. PEX. It's a PEX surface. And I went ahead and printed this on the PEX surface, and it printed beautifully. Just like that, 2 up. And I don't remember how long, but really nice print. So it's a very capable printer. But again, I really like the improvements they've made on the Pro version. So damn slight better than your Ender 5 Pro. For a little printer, you know, it's really good. That's why I say, for a beginner that doesn't know what they want to get into, if they are serious about the hobby, this one I believe is, let's just double check their site here. Let's see. I'm on the Kingroon site. So the KP3S, which is this guy here, is $169 US. Okay, the KP3S Pro, and there's links to all these in my in the description. So $169, $199. Okay, so $30 more, you get a fair bit of upgrades. Personally, go for the $199. Okay, just for everything, all the different things you get. The big one for me is the built-in power supply. And then they have their KP3S Pro V2. So if you look here, They have a Pro V2 with clipper firmware built in. They've got a spool holder on top. Okay, will this picture blow up anymore? No, and you're looking $279. Sold out right now. But clipper firmware installed. You've got all your linear rails. You've got the same hot end. Yeah. And you have the bonus of clipper and 350 millimeter high-speed printing. Can you imagine? So, and these printers are also available on Amazon for the same prices you're seeing them on. That's Canadian price, by the way. You guys get a much better deal in the US than we do. So, yeah. So, yeah. But as I say, very capable little printer. This particular printer is going to be finding a new home at the Calgary Maker Faire, which is coming up in 2 weeks. So this guy is going to go to a lucky new owner from the Maker Faire. This is going to be given as a prize at the Maker Faire. This with both build surfaces and everything that came with it, the power supply, yada, yada. The springs on this one, yeah, this has the cheap metal tinny springs on them. But you know what? For a free printer, that'll be a good little gift to somebody. So, and I know it works well because I've done a few test prints on it. There we go. Did I see, hey, DB3D Dan, how are you, sir? I haven't talked to you or seen you in a long time, sir. So as we get this printing, we're doing a benchy, and it's looking pretty decent so far. Here, let's get a quick peek at the benchy here. Then we'll talk about a couple other things now that we got this one going. I'm very impressed with this printer so far. I really do like the build surface, and the beauty of it is you can put a flexible build surface on this if you choose to do so. Let's go back here and back to this view here. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this a little, see if I can show you the surface. See if I can show you the surface of this. I can zoom in pretty good with this camera, but can I focus with this camera? That red filament's hard to see the quality, but hey, it's looking not bad so far. So I'm excited to get eventually, which I'm sure I will. I'm excited to get the V2, the Pro V2 with the clipper built in, and see how fast this thing will print, and how you know the quality that you'll get out of it at the higher speeds. Because it's not a huge gantry it's working with here. It's 200 millimeters. So, and it's obviously not going to be Core XY. So, but yeah, look at that. That's not a bad looking benchy so far. It looks like they got the seam running right up is that the bow or the stern? Looks like the bow. Your mod sets the sensor about 20 millimeters above the extruder. Okay. Only if they fall below the nozzle. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good point there, Neil. I have to think outside the box in that sense. Yes, you're right. Yeah, it looks like they got the seam running right up the front of that boat, which is okay. Oh, I'm missing some conversation here, of course, just because. So, we'll keep that printing. We'll keep an eye on that guy. Every time I do that, I have to switch that camera again, just like that. Anyways, so let's keep this on. I'm curious to see how long this battery lasts on this thing. Oops, just took a picture for some reason. And let's see what my battery power is showing. It's not showing. I have not yet come up with a dummy battery power to power this thing externally. It's just running off the camera battery itself. This is an old Olympus OMD EM1. And Olympus has released, apparently they released it 2 years ago, and I just wasn't aware. This has been sitting in a bag for forever, because who uses these anymore? This is a micro four thirds camera. It's got a really good lens on it. This is a 12 to 40 millimeter 2.8 lens. takes great pictures, works great for video, but now they've released software that this thing will now plug in through a USB port and be recognized as a webcam. So it's awesome. It's great. Hey, bees, how are you? So I had a couple questions. So David was asking me, have I finished the, now that we'll just let this guy do its thing. David was asking, have I finished the, I got to turn this, I hate this spool holder, sorry. There we go. I don't want that to fall over. Got to make sure that's perfectly lined up. I think we're okay. Have I finished the enclosure for the bamboo? All the parts are printed. So for those that don't know, I have printed, what was it called again? The enclosure for the bamboo. So we have our four corners. We have our hinges. We're doing a gray and green theme for it. We have our four corners, our hinges. We have all our other parts. We just have to put it together. I'm going to be doing a stream with that, but I'm waiting for my panels to come in. The panels should be cut for me this week. So yes, I'm doing great. Thank you, BBs. Did I get your message on Discord? If you're talking to me, no, I don't believe I did, DBR it. I don't believe I did. These are great panels, though. This is a really awesome design for this thing. So for the bamboo. So looking forward to getting this on this bamboo and the P1P I have at the office. The Arc. Thanks, David. It's the Arc build. And I just dropped I turned my hinge upside down and I dropped my hinge pin out, which is good because it's supposed to fall out so that you can take the door off. But this was great. A whole ton full of heat insets. So if you're not good at doing heat insets, you'll be good when you're done this because it's a ton of heat insets that go into this. So I've got 2 sets of the Arc all printed, all ready to go, all heat inset and ready, David. I'm just waiting for my panels now. Oh man, you're doing the board cube. The board cube one looks great, but a ton of filament, isn't it? Looks really awesome though. I love Star Trek, but to me that would just be a little bit overkill for me, for what I'm doing. That's a lot of printing, isn't it? Okay, and let's talk about the gorilla in the room. I get it. See what I did there? So I'm printing. Oh, okay. I forget who mentioned it at the beginning. That said they like my King Kong I'm doing. So we'll look at this in a minute. I'm doing the King Kong that I first saw it. My local supplier guy here, 3D Lab Tech, Andy, I went over to pick up some stuff off him last week, and he showed me the King Kong he did. It is called, and this is funny. This is really funny. It is called Mecha King Kong, and it is off of a. The company is the guy that designed it. His name is, oh man, what is it again here? It's printed on one of his pieces. I just never remember because I got so many things on my mind. Anyways, I'll find it. But it's a lot of pieces, and I'll show you that in a second. The funny thing is, you're out, John Strand. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much for all your chat and the advice and all your little pointers on this that were not in the manual. I appreciate that one. But the funny thing is, if you look, and this is all marketing. 3D printer companies and their marketing are very funny. If you look at the Kingroon site at the KP3S Pro KP3S Pro, is it this one that I'm running right now? No, it's not that one. Where did I see it? Maybe it was the very first one, the KP3S. No, it was, where did I see it? Oh, on Amazon. Okay, there it is. If you look on Amazon at the Kingroons, and yeah, it's all marketing, but look, there's the KP3S Pro 3D printer that I'm running right now. Look at the model that they have on the bed of the printer on Amazon. That's the King Kong I'm printing right now. There is no way on this good earth And again, you and I all know that it's just marketing, but for somebody new to this hobby, they're going to look at that and say, oh, wow, I can print that model just like that on this printer. Number one, that's puny. Okay, that's small. Number two, there are several colors involved in doing this print. And number three, there's about 90 pieces. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but there is 70, 80 pieces to this thing to print, and then you have to assemble it. But for them to show this on this little printer, and yeah, this printer can handle printing this model single pieces at a time, but the marketing on these 3D printers, and Kingroon's not the only one. Creality does it. Everybody does it. And it can't be printed that size. No, not that size. No. But I think all the parts will fit on the bed of the Kingroon, so you can print all the parts on it. But the marketing makes it look like you can actually print that as is on this printer. That's what it says to me as a newbie, saying, oh, look, I can print this King Kong right there on the printer like this, and it's going to look like that. No, you can't. Anyways, all the companies do it. They're all guilty of it. So Richard McLean, hello from Vegas. So anyways, that said, I started this journey by printing the head. So we have our Kong head. These guys are being printed. The gray is all Kingroon PLA. So that's Kong's head. That's Kong, Angry Kong. Kong, Angry Kong. Anyways, so the gray is all printed out of Kingroon Gray PLA. Everything else is Polymaker PLA. Used all 0.12 layers, which I'm doing, I believe, as well, Stephen. I'm running another run of black on the Bamboo P1P as we speak. But here's all the, just for those of you that are interested in this, here's all the pieces so far. So this is the gray and orange, and I still have one bed of gray pieces to run. So this is all of the, these are all the pieces, these are the gray and orange pieces. You have to make sure that your printer is well tuned, because these pieces, when they go together, you want them to go together, and you want the ball joints and everything to be operating good. And I've tested a few things, and they are working well so far. There's one piece in the whole build that's red, and that's his eyes. Okay, there's all the gray parts, and I've still got some gray parts to go. So it's just like putting a little puzzle together. It's incredible. I swear there's 90 or 100 pieces involved in this. And then I started printing the black parts today. An evil genius named Doctor Who creates Mecha Kong robot version of King Kong to dig for highly radioactive element X found only at the North Pole. I like that snapshot. So here we go. This is just the start of the black pieces. Okay. This is just the start of the black pieces. I've got another bed of black pieces on there. Plus, I have another. So there is a total of 3 beds, 3 or 4 beds, 3 beds of black pieces. 1, 2, 3 full beds of black pieces, and I got another bed of gray to go. The orange is all done, and then I've got a bunch of white parts to go, and then the base. Then there's a base to it. Getting off topic a little bit, I want to show you what I've done here and how I kind of kept this organized. Because when you're printing a lot of pieces like this for a model, I don't know about you, but sometimes I find it really hard to organize what's been printed, what hasn't been printed. What I really like about, I use the Orca slicer fork of Bamboo Lab, which is really, really cool. They have profiles for all the Voron printers. They have profiles, of course, for Bamboo. They have profiles for Prusa, and I think they have other ones as well. Those are the only ones I've used. But I love the fact in this slicer in Bamboo Lab that you can do multiple plates. So I've organized, so there's, you can see my 3 black plates. Yellow is just, right now the yellow is my gray plate, the gray plate that I have to print yet. I just don't have gray filament in, so I haven't assigned it the color yet. And that's the white plate I got to print, and I don't know what color, but these are my base pieces that I got to print. So this is great that I can say, okay, I want to print this plate of black pieces here. I can go ahead and slice that plate, or I can go ahead and slice whichever plate I want, and then I can save this as a big project. So if I want to print this again down the road, all I got to do is open it up. All my plates are there with everything that I need to print, laid out the way I want them, and I can organize these plates however I want to organize them and print the whole job. And that way I don't forget to print something, or I don't print extra of something. I really, really love that feature about that Bamboo Lab. So it's awesome. So you use Cura one part at a time. Okay. One plate at a time. Poor Boy Channel, the model, let me find the link for the model for you. Let me move this back over here to this screen so I don't confuse myself as to what I'm actually doing. And that model, now, why can I not remember the name of the place? You gotta buy the model and the files, which is not a big deal. It's well worth it. Shoot. Oh, I know where I can find it out. I have the assembly instructions open right here. Okay, so let me show you the assembly instructions here, and this will show you what it is. So here we go. So it's called Toymaker 3D. So Poor Boy, if you go to Toymaker 3D, get out of the way. Toymaker 3D, and here's his assembly instructions. They're not perfectly easy to follow instructions, but they're reasonable. He's customized it for you. So there's your name. I don't know if that's a serial number, but you know, these instructions come. My name is on it. Non-commercial, no derivatives, etc., etc. Attribution, all this. So he gives you page-by-page instructions of how this thing goes together. It's like putting a model together. There's a couple parts that get glued. They suggest at the end clear coat spraying it in order to preserve some of the parts so they don't, you know, wear down, etc., etc. And there's some parts where they say to use nail polish on the ball joints to get enough friction so that they're not overly loose. But I find my joints are not super, super loose. They're doing pretty good so far. So yeah, that's where you get it, and it's really cool. So I got Kong, and I also got a dinosaur, or I think it's a dinosaur one or something like that, or a Godzilla, something like that. Richard, you made it. Toymaker 3D. Yeah, Stephen Poole just mentioned that right now. So yeah, this is all the parts so far. We have another black plate printing. We have a third black plate to go, and then we've got another 2 white plates to go, and another gray plate to go, and this will all be assembled hopefully by Calgary Maker Faire, or I'll be bringing it to Maker Faire and assembling it at Maker Faire. So, but this is really cool. So, I mean, there's his body, there's his sort of thing. I mean, his, this little guy, there's what I was looking for right there, Toymaker 3D. This little guy is going to sit in here sort of like this. His head's going to go on here, up here, something like this. I mean, it's really the coolest thing in the world. I'm excited to get this thing done and built. So, yeah, it is awesome. You made a script to create a spreadsheet, and then it break things down from there. So this is going to be the most complicated print I've done in a long, long time, and it's like being a kid and putting together one of those models, you know, where you snap all the pieces out, and I mean, people still do that. I mean, it's a big thing. So let me just get all these pieces back. Everything from the little finger joints, the toe joints, you know, and everything moves. Everything's articulated. Or is that the right word to use? Articulated? I don't know. I just don't want to drop any of these pieces because some of them are extremely, extremely tiny, but very, very relevant to the model being successful. Okay, Jose Ferrer, thank you so much. I appreciate you popping in. As always, somebody's going to challenge you to be first one of these weeks. You know that. Won't be me because I'm always first. Haha. Okay, I don't want to forget to put any parts back in. I'm keeping my gray and orange separate from my black just because. Oh, man. Okay, okay. I may end up printing another one of these too. I think when I get this all together, Ethan's going to want one. I'm positive he's going to want one, or the dinosaur. I call it a dinosaur. I want to say a Godzilla or whatever it is. The other one that I'm going to print. Okay, there's all those pieces. Okay, let's get all the black ones back. Oh, did that finish? Oh, good. My bamboo just went quiet all of a sudden. I thought, what happened? But the print finished. It just goes. It just stops and goes dead quiet. I thought, did the power go out? Did I kick a plug? Nah, we're okay. So I'm gonna hopefully either live build or just video myself building this thing, because yeah, and then just do a video and speed up the building process. But it's gonna be cool. Atomic Dragon, is that what it is, Duff? Okay, that's what I've got, the Atomic Dragon as well. Okay. Let's pop this camera over again. Let's get another close-up look at the bench. You see how we're doing. Looks like it's only like 10%, 15% infill on that thing. Sorry, I have to go to OBS. I have not hooked this camera up to my Stream Deck yet. There we go. And let's focus it here. And there we go. It's looking pretty good so far, the benchy. I think it's going to take a little while longer yet, but that's all right. Not minding that at all. It's not a fast printer, but it's a good quality print that it's doing. So I hear my puppy barking. Somebody just got home. Atomic Godzilla is a little easier to put together, and butt much bigger. I see what you're trying to say there. Okay. Speaking of, I just got another plate of black parts pulled off. Doo-doo. This is the 5th plate that I've run, and I am using nanopolymer adhesive on the build surface to guarantee no lifting of any kind or any shape, kind, or form. And I'm going to be going on a 6th plate without coating it again. So it works really well. So we'll stick that back on. Now I just have to remember which plates that I've printed already. ADXL is junk. Oh, that sucks, poor boy. Okay, these parts are just... I'm doing a video of eventually on the Bamboo P1P, and my goodness, these parts are so nice that come off of that thing. Like, wow. Like, look at these just finished printing. This is Polymaker Black PLA. Come on, focus. There's my bottom layer. And then these little, this is part of the axe or whatever it is that he's carrying, that King Kong carries. This is his axe. But look at the, I mean, you can't really do a whole lot better for printing quality than that. These parts print extremely well. Yeah. Okay, so we got some more black parts, some more balls, lots of balls. Ooh, I bet that ball clips right in there for his foot, but I don't want to do that yet. I'd hate to click a ball joint in and just to realize I got it in the wrong joint, and then I can't get it out. That means having to print 2 parts over again. There we go, more black. And then we'll get, before that bed has a huge time to cool down. Those are beautiful prints, aren't they, poor boy? I love that P1P. This is not a P1P stream, but hey, I love the P1P. So now I need to figure out which plates I've printed already. I think I did that one, so I got 1 plate of black left to print. So I select that plate. Did I print that plate yet? I'm pretty sure I didn't print that plate yet, and it's a 4-hour and 8-minute print. So we go print and we send. Yes, okay. On 8 printers. Each plate had one part the way you did, except the toes and fingers took forever. Oh. I don't know how much longer is in this benchy, but we'll kick around here till 7:30 or so. Hopefully it's better than. Hopefully it gets printed quicker than 8 o'clock. But now it came with these little Velcro straps. I'm assuming these Velcro straps. I should have run that PTFE around the other way. I got it kind of messed up in here. But I'm assuming these Velcro straps were intended to hold the PTFE tube to the cabling here. I should have. Yeah, that's okay. But I don't think I'm going to need them, but we'll see. So far, so good. If I can turn this a little bit more towards so you guys can see that a little better as this prints. Now, the one thing I haven't tested is this does have power out resume, which I suppose we could test, but we'd ruin a perfectly good benchy if it doesn't work. We'll just think it works, because most of them do work. Am I still working? Yes, I am still working on the rat rig upgrade, David. I am. I wanted to get this live stream done. They requested I do a live stream for it, specifically a live stream, and then I'll be doing a little bit of just a short 10-15 minute video on it. But I wanted to get this done before our Maker Faire, and I will be resuming the rat rig build. It is down there, and I believe I have all the parts for it now. I'm pretty sure I have everything ready to go, except the main board. They're sending me a main board, but I don't think it won't work on this, on the VCore 3. The main board they're sending me, which I think they've already sent, and then I told them, they knew what I was rebuilding. They sent me the, it's the board designed for the rat rig, but it was the board designed for the smaller one with the 4 drivers. This I need 6 drivers for, right? So we have the 6 motors, so. Yeah, the P1P print's great. Definitely does. Yeah, you can tinker on the P1P. You can tinker on anything, but why would you? I'm not touching, I'm not modifying nothing on the P1Ps other than if I have to replace a hot end, something like that. That's the only tinkering that'll happen. Yeah, I need at least 6 drivers on that one. And the one they're sending me is for the other rat rig, the cantilever rat rig, the smaller one, right? Which only requires, I think, 3 or 4 drivers, X, Y, and Z. X, Y, Z, and extruder. Whereas this one has A, B. You have A, B, 3 Zs, and an extruder. 3, 4, 5 equals 6. Yeah. Yeah. So, so I'm still indecisive as to which board I want to put in. I have a Manta M8P with CB1 I can put in. I have the original board I could just put in. Or I have an octopus I could put in. But with the Manta M8P, I would use a CB1. With the original one or the octopus, I'd have to use my Pi 02W because that's the only Pi that I have. I have a Pi 3B here, but I don't know if it works. V Minion, thank you, David. V Minion, that's the one. So I will, if they've sent it, which I think they have, I'll have a V Minion board or a board for V Minion-ish. So does that mean I have to get a V Minion? Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah. I'm going to pull this over to the side here. I'm so glad that I looked on and found that I could use this camera because it's too good a camera just to be sitting collecting dust. It's got a few downfalls, but the fact is I've got some really good lenses for this that I can switch out lenses for, but this is the only one that I can get really wide angle on, the 14 millimeter on this one. So If you have those old cameras and you're doing any streaming, check and make sure. You might be able to use them for streaming. Okay, and again, I have to manual focus. There is our benchy so far from a different viewpoint. Printer's pretty quiet. It's relatively quiet. Power supply fan is the loudest thing on it. So, but the P1P is about to fire up, so you're going to hear some loudness. You have Octopus on both yours, but have extra Pi 3 and 4. Ah. P1P is not quiet. No, it depends on what you consider quiet, right? I mean, define quiet. You know, am I going to sleep in the same room as it? No. But happy with this little printer so far. Benchy looks good so far, too. There's no sock on the end, I just noticed. Yeah. So, yeah. So I like the fact that they give you, not that you're going to need them ever, but 4 spare nozzles. For some reason, they stuck a nozzle in the bag with the tools. And then they stuck another bag separate with 3 other nozzles. So let me just pull this one nozzle out. So it's like one of these things does not belong. So yeah, for those that were late in joining, with this Kingroon KP3S Pro, great little printer. Couple surprises for me, because I was basing it on other things I've read and the manual. So the manual of the KP3S Pro, and even the picture on the front of the manual, and let me see. Let me go to that Amazon page for the Pro and see. So even on the Amazon page, if you look, you see what I see there? So we have a Z linear rail, an X linear rail, and even on the Amazon page, if you look at that, it has wheels for the Y. Okay, and I think that is the Pro. Okay, the Pro, which is what we're doing here. So I think that is why I was kind of expecting this to have wheels. Let's go back here. And in the manual that came with this printer, they tell you it's actually step number... Step number... I'm getting there. Step number 2B. And step number 2, they tell you to take your wrench and adjust your eccentric nuts on your Y. But if you look closely, it's got linear rails, dual linear rails for the Y. So Amazon is perhaps selling old versions of this that came out initially with linear wheels on the Y. But so what they need to do is ensure that they have the proper manual with the proper printer. So there was a couple things they were missing. They were missing that. Thank you to David Strand for pointing out that I had to tighten down these 2 screws on the bearing up here. So they were missing that out of the manual. And they mention nothing about running your PTFE tube. I mean, it's obvious the way it runs through the filament sensor, etc., but they don't mention it in the manual. And if somebody's new to this and doesn't know better, they won't know where to do this. But yeah, you don't. So the manual is a little outdated compared to the updated version of printer that they did send me. So, but otherwise, it's not too bad. They hooked me up. Yes, they did. Kingroon did hook me up with this. This was sent to me by Kingroon with no expectations other than I live streamed the build and the assembly. I call it a build assembly. It was 4 screws to assemble it and tightening a couple things. That was it. Yeah. but we're good. Again, it's 200 by 200 by 200. Not a bad build volume for a little printer like this, but the value is the fact you have a direct drive Titan extruder, you have a filament runout sensor, you have X, Y, and Z linear rails with a dual linears on the Y. Your power supply is built in. It's a chintzy little screen, but it works. But $199, I think, US. It's pretty good value for the price. It's very good value for the price. Kingroon website lists linear rail Y as an upgrade. Hey, Mad Cat. Oh, they do they? Okay. Okay, as an upgrade. That's interesting. So they obviously sent me the upgraded version. So if I look at the Pro, they show wheels. Okay, so it's $199 bundles. Let's see. KP3 Y-axis linear rail guide upgrade kit. $239. So $40 to get the upgrade. Okay, this is the KP3S Pro, Mad Cat. Poor boy, yes, it's a heated bed. Heated bed with carbundium. I can never say that word. Carbundium glass. Carbidinium. Textured glass. Yeah. The only other issue that I had that I will suggest, I'll mention it, is the for setting your Z offset and for leveling your bed, they have this screw here, and then you have your Z limit switch right here. Okay, this screw is bottom. This screw is tightened down as tight as I can get it without breaking anything. It is super tight. And I had to loosen my bed springs off a fair bit to get the bed high enough to get a good first layer squish or Z offset. Now, if I tighten those springs anymore, I cannot lower this anymore in order to home my Z even lower because I cannot move the probe. I can't move the switch. I shouldn't have to. So I suggest they make this screw probably a good 1/4 inch. Okay, let's call it 6-7 millimeters shorter so that it can go down even lower. Give the room for up above, yeah, but it needs to go down a little bit lower so that people can tighten those springs up because I don't like loose springs on the bed. It's working, but I can see they're loose enough that I can see them vibrating a bit loose. And they do use the upgraded heavy-duty yellow springs on this as well. Carborundum. That's easy for you to say, Mad Cat. Carbidinium. It's like some people say aluminum, some people say aluminium. It's a Canadian thing. Just like I received this week I received my obnoxious nozzles, my obsidian nozzles. I don't know, some words just don't flow as easy as they should. And with the obsidian nozzles, where did I put that other sticker? I got a chuckle out of this. They sent me a couple of these stickers with the obsidian nozzles. They're really cute. Maria made me laugh. She said it looks like they've stabbed the unicorn with a nozzle and it's bleeding colors. So they've killed the poor unicorn with their nozzle, and the unicorn has rainbow-colored blood. Anyways, the things we observe. Chris, about and a boot? I don't say a boot. I say about. About. If you go to the East Coast and you go to Newfoundland and Canada, you should hear how the Newfies talk. Hey, how you going to meet you down there about that time today, bye? Anyways. When you put a flex bed on it, you just replace the screw 4mm hex cap. Okay. Carborundum, he says. We will continue practicing and learn that. In the meantime, and for those that missed as well, this little particular print was off of the original KP3S. Did a really, really nice job. I don't remember which filament this was. I think this is Prusament, but that's off of the KP3S, the original one that we have sitting over here. Beautiful print. So these things are capable of creating some nice prints. They're slow, like any bed slinger, standard bed slinger printer. They're slow, but slow and steady wins the race, as they say. Northern Wisconsin and Upper Peninsula, Michigan sounds like that. Ah, hey, Mike, how are you, sir? Not all Newfies shot L. Man, in the business, there used to be a couple of franchise owners in Newfoundland, McKenzie brothers, Sean and oh, I forget his other name, but we just get down there. I've been there many times, and when they get talking, it's just like you need a translator when they get talking fast. So it's really fun. It's fun. They're a great bunch of people. So my remote for my light has stopped working, and I even changed batteries. I'm disappointed. I'm going to have to see if this is under warranty. Anyways. McKenzie brothers. Yeah, not Bob and Doug. Not a coincidence, though, is it, Mike? Can't quite hit that note in my age. Oh man, look at the first layer on this P1P. Holy crap, it's nice. Oh, wow. Like, oh man. You have to struggle to get good first layers like that on a lot of printers. Man. A lot of different dialects here. There are places you don't understand them talking. I'll bet. Hey, Hacks Potato. Been letting around for a while. Just going to hang out and back here. Hang out back here. Sounds good, Hacks Potato. Anybody that hasn't hit the like button, leave. Because you got to like this stream. I mean, you got to like how easygoing it is. If you haven't hit the like button, I'm just kidding. Don't leave. If you haven't subscribed, tell me why. Need more metric beers and hit those notes, or be Geddy Lee. Yes. Did Geddy Lee pass away recently? I'm trying to think. I somehow think I heard that he's passed away, which is too bad. He was a good singer. I liked a few of his things. I wasn't a big Rush fan, but I've learned to respect, or I've learned to appreciate their music more as I got older. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate that. Get the bell icon to be notified. I'm going to be doing more shorter videos. We're always going to do our Sunday streams, but I'm going to be doing more shorter videos coming up. They're going to be called Dwit Bits. We're going to be doing videos on various things, like some of the different tools I use for my builds. We're going to be troubleshooting. We're just going to be switching it up a little bit during the week and making some more videos versus lives. Lives are great. I love hanging out on live streams, but I need to do some more 5, 10, 15-minute videos going forward. It seems to be what gets better viewership on YouTube. So more likes than viewers. I like that, Teza. Oh, Neil Peart passed a few years ago. Okay, I don't know why I thought Geddy Lee, but yeah. Invisible Airways. Okay, I won't sing. I do not want to get myself demonetized by singing. Or I don't want the 29 viewers right now to drop to 9 because I actually attempted to sing a note. So let's have a peek. Let's peek in on our camera with our super duper close-up Olympus. I really need to get that put on the Stream Deck so I can just push a button instead of doing this, but hey, there we go. Not a bad looking benchy so far. Focus is very, very particular on this thing. I wish I could get it to autofocus. It may just be a setting I have to set, but if I pop that ring forward, and if I hit this button, oh, there, it does autofocus if I hit the button. Look at that. There we go. It ain't no speed benchy, but it's not doing too bad. Oh, I'm sitting down just because I'm not used to standing up for 2 hours on a stream. What else do I have going on? Well, let's see. A lot of fun little things. My King Kong. I'm super excited about building Kong. You're from Canada and not a Rush fan. Isn't that a law up there? I didn't say I wasn't a Rush fan. I like a few of. I could not name more than. I probably can't name any more than 2 or 3 songs that Rush did. Invisible Airways, if that's even what it's called. Tom Sawyer. Yeah. Okay, and I'm probably going to get slack for this, but I'm also not a. Oh man, what was the name of the group that Gord Downie was the lead singer of? I'm not a fan of that group. I'm not a fan of Gord Downie. He passed away. But I'm not a fan of not Grateful Dead. Simply no. See, you can tell I'm a big fan of the group because but apparently they're very popular in Canada, Canadian band, but never been a fan of them. Andrew Humphrey, hey y'all, I just had something weird happen. You can't explain it. Well, try and explain it. No, I love the Guess Who, Mike. Guess Who with Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman. Randy Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive. Burton Cummings went on to have a really successful solo career. I love their music. So yeah, love the Guess Who. No, the other one was It's Okay You Accept Me in the USA. Thank you, Midlife. I appreciate that. I forget the name of the group that Gord Downie was the lead singer of. Anyways, it's okay. It's not important because I really didn't like them. Tragically Hip. Thank you there. Thank you, Mike. Tragically Hip. I'm never a big fan of Tragically Hip. And I'm also not a fan of Nickelback. I'm sorry. Nickelback, their music all sounds the same. I mean, if I went to their concert, I'd ask for my nickels back because I just... Every song of theirs sounds the same. Electrical storm didn't kill your Voron. It caused it to scale down. What? Electrical storm didn't kill your Voron. It caused it to scale down 15%. Okay, that is a little odd. Yeah. I just realized we have a few of you, and because I don't, a few of you are kicking around in Twitch, and a few of you are kicking around in YouTube. Awesome, great to see some participation on Twitch. Do I like Tim Hortons? No, I'm sorry. Have I had Tim Hortons? Yeah, I'm not a coffee drinker. Tim Hortons is supposedly known for their coffee here. I don't eat a lot of donuts. So Dan, DB3D Dan is on the tube. Glad you are on the tube, Dan. Everything works, but it's scaled down at 15%. Wasn't the slicer, wasn't the models, was bamboozled all weekend, but then I simply restarted the... That is really strange, Andrew. Yeah, I don't go to Tim Hortons much. Their sandwiches are terrible. Their soup is okay. They put mushrooms in their chili, which I don't like. Or do they? Yeah, they do. They put mushrooms in their chili, which I don't like. The sandwiches are terrible because they're all frozen and thawed out. The only thing fresh at Tim Hortons is their coffee. Their slogan that says always fresh, always Tim Hortons, that just refers to their coffee. We used to have one in the building where my business is downtown, and I see what they stored in the freezers and the cool rooms down in the basement. Nothing is always fresh. always frozen, but not always fresh. Yeah, I can't. And being diabetic, I can't. You know, diabetics and sugar, nah, don't go well together. So, yeah, run, you'll cover me, Twitch heads. Yeah, I'm sure you'll cover me. I haven't used Twitch for about 5 years. Well, Twitch, I got like 50, $60 from Twitch the other week, and I thought, how? Because I haven't been on Twitch in a long time, but I thought, okay, well, if I'm getting a few dollars here and there from Twitch, we'll keep it going and we'll keep twitching away. I've got a twitch in my eye, so we'll see. I am sweet blood. Oh, Andrew, stop it. Sweet blooded naturally. Just stop it now, will you? You're gonna make me blush. So 2 things I can say so far about this Kingroon KP3S Pro. It's printing really well. Printer looks really solid. It's a good looking printer. It was easy to build, and their filament is awesome. I have nothing to complain about with their filament. It's printing great. I don't know who makes their filament. It's spooled so well. And this is the 3rd or 4th roll of filament that I've tried from them. Not full rolls, but I've tried. I've got the red, I've got white, I've got gray, and I've got, I believe, blue. So same color as my benchy. I think I might be. That's why. Oh, you can see me on camera up above in the corner. That's right. Here we go. We got some portholes coming up. Got a little bit of stringing happening on the side walls of the benchy there, but that's not bad. We're cooling just from the front. So we have that single cooling fan. Back of the benchy. I'm trying to see if I can see the back of the benchy, what it looks like. Where's my flashlight? Look at that bamboo rock. I got the anti-vibration feed on my bamboo, and it just rocks. There's my flashlight. See if I can see the back of the bench. I want to see if I can read. No, you can never really read the back of those benchies. But boy, yeah, it looks great. I mean, it's looking good. Look at how the camera adjusts when I put a bright light on it. Look at that, watch. No light. I like that auto exposure on that. Here, let's see if I can get a mood benchy. Oh, look at that. It's like a benchy sailing across a sunset ocean with the wisps of string just blowing in the breeze. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so romantic looking? Okay, cue the music from whatchamacallit. I'm the king of the benchies. Okay, sorry guys, I couldn't resist. A little bit of stringing. Shannon Hang, good morning from Singapore. Welcome. I don't recognize you from being on the channel. Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. Hit that like button and subscribe. I shouldn't say that. If you guys want to subscribe, you will. Hello, hello. Welcome. We have built and assembled, unboxed, and are printing on the Kingroon KP3S Pro 3D printer. You can't because you stutter. Little stringing. They're anchor chain ports. They're not potholes. Portholes. Oh, they're not portholes? Oh, they're anchor chain holes. How did we get into the Love Boat? It's the mood lighting snapshot. They are anchor chain. Okay, I did not know that. Oh, you're the designer of the arc, Shannon. Awesome. I have just finished printing 2 of the arcs. It's an incredible design. Thank you very much for doing that. I printed 2 of the arcs, and I'm just waiting for my acrylic panels to be cut. which should happen for me next week. I'm in the sign business, so I have connections for getting acrylic cut. So welcome, and thank you for popping in. That's great. I love the design. It's so simple. I'm putting it on 2 of my bamboos, on my P1Ps. And they printed beautiful. I mean, the way you set up those parts to print on multiple plates in Bamboo Lab was brilliant. And yeah, so can't say enough about them. Other than they use a hell of a lot of heat insets, but that's okay. I'm an expert at putting heat insets in now. No sock on the block. What are you, a poet, Mad Cat? No sock on the block. I should, just so you guys know, just there we go. No, and Mad Cat said no sock on the block, because YouTubers can't see the Twitch comments and Twitchers can't see the YouTube comments. So what is an arc? James, it's a good question. Let me show you the arc. Let me go ahead and switch cameras for a minute here. Boom, a boom, and a boom. Put this camera off to the side here for a minute. The arc is an enclosure for the Bamboo P1P. So I'll show you the pieces for the arc. I've got 2 sets. Where's my other set? Right here. So the arc is basically an enclosure. So here's the corner pieces for the arc. So basically what happens, I wonder if maybe if I switch to this camera, you can kind of see the bamboo printing here. Okay. So what happens is that, so there's one corner. Oops, that's not the right corner. Helps to put the right corner in the right spot. This one. No. See, you got it's like a puzzle. This one here. So here we go. So if I move my AMS back a bit, so there's one part. There's a corner that goes on here, okay, and then the other corner for the front. This has hinges on it. So the acrylic is going to screw onto these hinges, and these hinges have little magnets so that when you open your doors can stay open, or you can pull your pins out and take your doors right off. This one will go on this side, okay? Then you're going to have your acrylic door. And of course, then you have your 2 pieces that are going to go in the back corner and the other back corner. And then there are a bunch of pieces that go in between. So you're going to have your plastic pieces up here, some plastic pieces on the bottom, and then you have your holes here, which your acrylic is going to screw to. You have a door that goes in the front, and on the back, you've got a piece of acrylic that's going to screw to the top on the back. So all these pieces allow the bamboo to be fully enclosed, and then there's a piece of acrylic that you have cut that acts as a top. So it's a brilliant design. There are a lot of heat insets to this design, just because of the nature of it and the fact that you're going to be screwing your acrylic piece into it. Let's see if I can find the bag with the other parts in it. Where did I put them? I have 2 sets in here somewhere, but I moved them out of the way right here. Oh no, these were all printed on the Bamboo Friendship. There's 2 pieces. If you can kind of see inside, you can see where they were joined. So they're joined. So this is 2 pieces. Okay, and then you can kind of see the seam on the outside. But when you snap them together really tight, depending on your fit, you can and can't see them. But yeah, they're 2 pieces. And then you have these other pieces. For instance, we'll go like there's the one piece with the arc label on it. That goes up top in the middle here. So your other corner pieces are going to come around and join to that. And you have these other side pieces that fill in the gaps. Now, I don't know. This is called an auxiliary fan saver. I don't know if I need this. I don't even know what this is for. I haven't been able to figure this out. Because I have an auxiliary fan on this one already with the stand. I don't know if this is what the auxiliary fan is supposed to sit on or what's supposed to happen with this, but I will figure that out. But the beauty of the way that these were designed, which I really like, is all these pieces, I've popped them all out already, but so that part was on the bed, and you can kind of see how clean those holes are. It's because he had pre-built-in supports in there, and all you had to do was, when it was finished printing, poke through the backside, and all those pre-built-in supports just popped right out. It was brilliant. Okay, Andrew Humphrey, see you later, bud. Take care. And yeah, so then we have for the back, depending on your setup on the back, where's that other piece? Must be in the other bag. Oh, right here. So I have an AMS. So on the back of mine, again, I'm not 100% sure. We have a couple different pieces for the filament path, depending on how your setup is. I believe the one I'm going to be using is just this single one because I have an AMS that's going to be feeding in through a single Bowden tube. So there's full assembly instructions. There's videos on it. Read the instructions over a couple times. Watch the video a couple times just to make sure you don't miss any steps. And you want to make sure that you get all your heat insets into the proper holes. And yeah, the other parts, so for the door latches, so we saw the sides of the hinges for the doors, and for the other side where the door latches, where is it? Right here. It's just got a simple magnetic latch so that when you close your door, it's going to did I mix my parts up? I must have. My magnets are polarized opposite. These must be the magnets for the other doors. I did, yeah. Because the magnets, I know this is for the other set because these magnets are opposite attract. I don't know where I put my other set, but obviously this accessory bag goes with my other frame. But yeah, it's a really, really brilliant design. Really well thought of, really well made, and I'm looking forward to getting it put together. I guess I could assemble it and then screw my acrylic pieces on afterwards. So now where did this come from? So this goes with the other frame. I don't know. I've got parts of projects all over the place here. So anyways, good job on the arc. Very good job on designing the arc. Woo! Big one goes inside. Little one attaches to it from the outside. Oh, for the filament path. Okay. Good to know, Stephen. Mad Cat, I have been here for years, but thank you nonetheless. There you go. Richard's a veteran. Okay, Dan, I've probably missed you already. Thank you so much. Have a good night. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm missing some of the chat. Slow and steady gets you the best benchy. Yes. So anyway, Shannon, if you're still around, hey, great design. And I will be finishing and putting the arc on the bamboo, on the P1P live as well. So yeah, excited about that. I liked it so much, I did 2 of them. So yeah. How's our benchy? Our benchy's coming along. I really got to get this button put in here. Going Bitter. You want to offer promotion for your channel viewers, followers, bots. The price is lower than any competitor. Quality is guaranteed at the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn on, off, customize. Go to doghype.com. Well, going bigger, going big ditter, going big ditter. I don't know if I really care. Sorry. You misread the post. Ah. Do I have any moderators over on Twitch that can get rid of that? Because I don't buy viewers. I don't buy subscribers. But thanks anyways, going big ditter. Going big going ditter bigger ditter. Going ditter bigger? Ditter bigger? Let me see. Going ditter bigger. I tell you, this is just hard for me to say certain things. Really hard. You know, it's real easy for me to do. It's real easy. Oh, stop, stop. Stop. It's real easy for me to go like this. And go like this, and go like that, and like that, and say thanks, but goodbye. Yeah, I need a moderator in Twitch. How do I do that? Let's just see. Do 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 do. It's been so long since I've done anything on Twitch. If I go pin, if I go click, if I click on your name, and if I go mod, and I think Mad Cat, I think you just got the job. I think you just applied and got the job. Oh, do you know that? There you go. Congratulations, you've been promoted on Twitch. Ta-da! You can promote someone. Oh, and I think it got rid of the. Oh no, it didn't get rid of the message. That's okay. I can hide. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, I don't. That's the first time I've gotten somebody there at offering promotion on my channel, viewers, followers, chat bots. The price is lower than. I don't need to pay for that stuff. And basically, they're selling subscribers, and I don't need to buy subscribers. I like to do it the honest man's way. Anyways, I was in the middle of switching cameras to show you guys the Benchy when this happened, so I got all flustered. I thought I had somebody new here. If I go back there, and then I was just about to go like this, and look, it's all out of focus and everything. Get over there. Get over there. Do your job, camera. And then autofocus. Come on. A little too close. Oh, it took a picture. Ah, that's funny. So I can take a picture while I'm streaming it. So look at those portholes. Look at those portholes on the Benchy. Don't they look good? I've never seen such clean portholes. We do have some stringing. That's a little bit of excessive stringing for PLA. Filament could be wet. Again, I don't know a whole lot about Kingroon filament. This is just open the bag and print. So we do have a bit of excess stringing. Could be a retraction issue. This is a test print. Twitch, you can't kill the ads. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. As Marty, what's his name, used to say, very interesting. Marty something. Anyway, Marty Feldman. Anyways, aging myself here. Now, I'm really annoyed that I cannot, this little remote, I got this little remote here that is for turning on and off this light right here. Right here. I haven't dropped it. I haven't done anything, and it stopped working. Yes, I changed the batteries. Yes, I changed the batteries. Let me take the batteries out. I wonder if the batteries are good. They're Kirkland batteries. Let's have a look. We're just doing Benchy. We're just on Benchy patrol right now for another, I don't know, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 minutes. Rowan and Martin's laughing. Yes, that's what it was. Didn't used to peek out through a bush and go, very interesting, or very, very interesting. Okay, let me pull my little battery meter out and see if I have power in these batteries. 1.5 volts. And I have 1.6 volts. Look at that. So these batteries are good. It's a newer, now I don't mean newer as in it's like not old. It's a newer brand light. N-E-W-E-R or N-E-E-W-E-R. So I think the light, it's a decent quality, but the remote is not working. Why? I want my remote to work. Artie Johnson, thank you. That's who I meant. The heat gun will cure the stringing easy. Yes, it will. Should I heat it up while it's printing? No. No. Hey, Nerd Square. This is the KP3S Pro Nerd Square that we did they sent it to me, so we unboxed it, assembled it with 4 screws, and started printing it. It does print great right out of the box. I'm not judging it by the stringing, but it's a decent looking benchy. I didn't even know it was a benchy we were printing because the card does not have English on it. So these are great little printers and great value for the price. You get excellent value for the price. This one they sent me happens to have the upgraded dual Y linear rails. Blah, 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 blah. That's a mouthful. Dual Y linear rails. Say that 6 times fast. Dual Y linear rails. Do Y linear rail. Okay. Why is this remote not working, people? Tell me why. So if I turn this off, is that going to affect your lighting much? Let's see. Oh, not bad. If I turn it that way, is it because I got to turn? No, it's nothing to do with the switch on the back here. One way is battery. Let's see. No, something wrong with my little remote control. Well, you're able to use a coupon and get it for $135. That's not bad. Is it an IR remote? Couldn't tell you. It must be, because there's no real. It just looks just like this. And then the front of it, it's got nothing. There's no window, nothing. Nothing. Simple. And it takes two AAA batteries. Okay, so we take our little mini screwdriver. We find a tiny little Phillips bit, like a 00HJ should work. It's wireless, not IR. So it's a wireless remote, yes. So let's undo this screw. Let's take the remote apart and see what makes it tick. Not that I have any clue what's wrong. It was working fine, then all of a sudden just stopped working. Let's pop those 2 screws out. Let's get the batteries out of there. Battery 1, battery 2. Pop the screws out. Now I should be able to pop the remote apart. Maybe. Maybe it's not meant to come apart. Maybe it's a disposable remote. Oi, oi, oi. Here, let's do not that. If I switch this, well, it just switches that camera. Always have. Oh, I see. So there's no exposed IR LED. So it's just a wireless, chintzy little remote. It's not a big deal. It just means I got to go to the back of the light and turn the switch on and off. But I really enjoyed the remote. I really like the remote for it. But you take those screws out and it doesn't seem to do anything because it doesn't really pop apart. Unless if I put this in here. No, that doesn't do anything. Huh. What if I put it in this hole? What does that do? That doesn't do anything either. Dang. What if I just give it a little bit of a nudge? If I bang it a little bit. The other thing, let me just pull. Sometimes your battery terminals, because they're springs, let me loosen these springs off a little bit. Sometimes, if the battery is not making a really good connection, that can be an issue too. Nope, nothing like that. Okay. Well then, you need a spudger to split the case. Oh, I see. Use your cell phone camera to confirm the remote control is working. Huh? Use your cell phone camera to determine the remote control. Huh? Well, the remote should light up too. It's got a little display on it. Okay, there's the battery compartment. Oh, there it is. Light off. Light. I wonder if the battery, I loosened up the battery springs a bit. And now we have, it's working. Now if I push this, lights off, lights on. Oh, so I'm wondering if the battery little spring thing was a little bit, because I just pulled them out a little bit so the batteries are making a better connection. There we go. It's working now. I'm happy again. Yay! Okay, look at that. Great little kit. If you're a maker, great little kit to have. All sorts of funky bits in it. Cell phone trick only works with infrared. It's not an IR remote. No, it's a doomer thingamajoober gobber doober remote. So, oh, look at that. We're getting near the top of the benchy. Okay, I think we might be finishing this benchy within the next 10, 15 minutes, then we can have a look at it. Nice looking benchy, Tim. I know, right? Oh. Most cell phones have IR detection, but if it's wireless phone, it won't see anything. Interesting. I did not know that. I didn't know that. Learn something new every stream. I'm telling you that. Like Teza, a spludger, spudger. I have to Google that. A spudger. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, sorry. I got to show you this. You're asking about the other. There's the other model I got from Toymaker 3D, the Atomic Dragon. That's the other one I got. Looks like he actually shoots something out of his mouth, maybe. That I'm looking forward to printing and building too. That is the coolest thing in the world, dude. So Spludger. Spludger. Oh, Spludgers. Okay. Look at that. 60 cents on AliExpress. 61 cents for Spludgers. 61 cents for the whole kit. 12 pieces. 61 cents. $3.14 to ship them. Wow. That is pretty cool. That's not a bad deal. Okay, subscribe. I'll subscribe to notification. 61 cents. So now versus $20 on Amazon. Let's see. Amazon, 9-piece spludger set, $11. AliExpress, 12-piece spludger set, 61 cents. Gee, I wonder which one I'd buy. Wow. See any vid from the Mac, Xbox repair guys, I'll buy that for $1. Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. Hey, Zen. Oh, we're on the top surface. I got to switch over. We're on the top surface of the boat, of the benchy, sorry. We're going to get the smokestack going pretty soon here. Look at those portholes. Those portholes look okay. They got a little bit of a thing on the bottom there, but not bad. I know they're not portholes. I'm just bugging whoever's going to say, oh, they're anchor chain holes. Well, then why don't they have an anchor hanging out of them if they're anchor chain holes? Tell me that. Spludgers vary in plastic properties. You want them hard enough they can pry, but soft enough they don't damage what you're opening. Exactly, Ballistic Tech. Why buy? Make. Make your own spludgers. I could print spludgers out of TPU. Can you imagine? Yeah, but you can't make them for 61 cents. Come on. Bring in 100 of them for $6 for $61 and sell them for $1.50 a set. Hey, you're going to make some profit. Anchor not included. Anchor not included. No. That the bridging looked like it worked really well. The door and the window looked like they printed very clean. Ignore the stringing. Okay, hang on. I got to do the Love Boat. Not the Love Boat. What's the movie with Titanic? I got to do the Titanic thing for you guys again. Hang on. Ready? Here we go. Oh, look at that. Just imagine out in the ocean. Look at the wind blowing. The strings blowing in the wind behind the boat. Just play the Titanic theme right now. Oh, I like it. Somebody capture that. The stringing in the windows. Whew. There we go. $0.61 plus shipping. I know it was $3.14 shipping. That's Canadian. That's what, 12 cents US. You use them every day. What do you spludge every day? Snapshot. What are you spludging or spudging? Okay, Teza. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Okay, here we go. Smokestack City coming up. Was that an in your window, Dwit? Was that an in your window? In your window? In your window? I get what you're saying there, Andrew Humphrey. My goodness, you're the channel's comedian. I appreciate it. You're hired. Laptops, desktops, and servers. Oh, okay. You serve you. That's what you do, right? There's a lot of stringing happening there. Oh, here we go. Smokestack. Oh, come on. You've got to be finished the roof. Oh, no. There's still a fair bit to go on the roof there. I wonder if I can speed that up from the little panel. Once we get the rest of the roof done, the smokestack should go pretty quick. There we go. There's the top layer. Top layer bridging going on, and then smokestack, and I think we got one more Depending on how many top layers I did here, it's going to be 1 or 2 more. Let's see. See if I can get you in on the side here a bit more. And let's focus. Focus, I said. There we go. I think that's the final top. Then we're going to get Smokestack City going. It's called a housewipe or cat hole, not a porthole. Oh, Mika, I thought it was an anchor hole. You guys got to make up your mind on your stories, you guys. Somebody told me it was an anchor hole for dropping the anchors. Then what's a porthole? A housewipe, a house pipe, house pipe. Cat hole. A cat hole, is that literally for a cat to climb up on the boat and get onto the boat? Is that kind of what we're talking about when we say cat hole? See if the bamboo finishes this plate of black parts before this thing. No, the bamboo's still got another 3 hours on it to go on this plate of black. So here we go. We are nearing the top of this. I don't dare call it a boat because it's I'll get in heck if I call it a boat now. But actually, the Benchy's really a tugboat, isn't it? Isn't it more of a tugboat? I would say the Benchy is a tugboat. That smokestack's looking pretty darn good. I'm still reading Andrew's comment, and in your window. Innuendo. See, smokestacks look really good when you go slow. Speed Benchy smokestacks are just disgustingly terrible, like they've been pecked on by seagulls for 6 months. The anchor chain goes through is a House piper. You guys just like hearing me say these hard words. Other than the stringing, it does look good, Richard. Yes. The stringing, I'm not going to judge the print quality based on because I don't know what settings they've used in the test file. I didn't slice this file. So it could be retraction issue, could be a filament issue, could be, who knows? And no, I'm sure it's not PET-G that I'm running at PLA temperatures. Actually, what temperature do they suggest running this at? Why did I just drop a micro SD card on the ground? I don't like when I do that. There we go. 195 to 220. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the test file temperature is printing at. I didn't look at the screen. I think we're going to be done in a second here. That was what, about an hour and a half, Benchy? I love the bokeh effect of this lens. I really love the fact that I got the background blown out on this. I love this little camera. I'm so glad I'm able to use it. And the battery is lasting extremely well. I got to see if I can get a dummy battery for this thing. What a great repurposing of an old camera. There we go. Oh, look at that last string there. Oh, look at that. That is so cute. Wait, don't leave me. It says, don't leave me, please. Don't leave me. Oh, and it's so sad because it left him. Why isn't that focusing? Oh, because I don't have it on manual focus. Oops. Oh, I got to go pull this back, and then I can focus it. There we go. Look at the droopy string. Look at that. What a finish. Okay, let's pull back. And let's pop it off and have a look. Now we have the the glass. Oh, that is a long, long string. Okay, let's see if I can pop that off. And let's see if we can get a close look at it. Let's see how close can I get with this lens. Let's go this way. There we go. So let's look at the bottom. Oh, look at that. You can read the bottom really well. That is not bad at all. There we go. Can we read the back? Nah. Richard did a really great benchy on his Voron where you could actually read the back. Okay, let's look at the side here. That is not bad at all. Let's look at the hull. That's decent quality, guys. That is really decent quality. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But for a printer of this size and this budget, it is not bad. Let's look at the top. Red is really hard to show on the camera. Okay, we got a nice clean smokestack up there. Whoops. Overhangs are not bad at all. Let me switch cameras. That's not the easiest one to stay focused on. If I go back to this guy here we go. Oh, that's a little easier to see. You can read the bottom quite easily. And then for the stringing, stringing is easily fixed by taking, where did I put it? Oh my goodness, where did I put it? I cannot live without it. There it is. We take this and we just give it a quick. Except where you hold it too long and it blobs. I just caused a blob in my boat. That's okay. Ignore my little blob that I caused. Slice a new one and retry the filament. Yeah. Where's the steering wheel? See, I caused a little blob there. That's my fault. But it's not a bad. It's pretty decent. The Blob was a scary movie. Yeah. The last string looks like exhaust coming out of the. Yeah, very artistic. I'll have to capture that and use it. So that's not bad. It printed really well, considering I didn't even clean the glass. Let's see if I can get this skirt off. Not bad. Simple. I am going to go ahead and go back, and I'm going to print whatever that second model is. I'm going to let that print, see if we have any better quality or less stringing, depending on what the model is. We're going to let that print. And yeah, go from there. But otherwise, that's not a bad print. I have to cut that little nibby off where I overheated the string. But other than some stringing, it's a really good looking benchy. Can't read the back at all there, but that's probably possibly an issue with some cooling. But I'm quite happy with how this turned out. So yeah, not bad at all. So there's our first print benchy right there. And we'll see what's printing next. And we'll surprise myself. Don't drop your flammable gun, Tim. Stop it. Let's see. We have some photos. Oh, Steven, you're making me. You did not do these. Look at you. Oh, he just sent me some pictures of his King Kong builds, making me jealous. But we're going to make Kong. Kong is going to make history. We're starting another print. We'll see what goes on. But we're not going to stay on stream for this whole print because who knows what it's going to be. I can't tell you what it's going to be because I cannot read that language. But this thing is printing extremely well. Very happy with it. As I say, there's just a couple issues with the manual that I would point out and change. Make sure they put the right manual with the right printer. Apparently, the wide linear rails is an upgrade. So, and it says upgrade kit. So I don't know whether they send it to you already put on or if you have to put them on yourself. All I know is it says upgrade kit. So. But again, we're getting good first layers here, which is really what matters. So guys, ladies, gentlemen, thank you everybody who's here and who stuck around and watching. I appreciate it. That's it for tonight. And yeah, great little printer if you ever want to recommend it to anybody. I have put links in the description of the video of the stream, but they're not affiliate links. I get nothing from you guys going to those links if you're interested or if anybody's interested. So that's that, and that's it. So I will catch you guys a little bit later. I'm not going to play my extra video because apparently in my extra video, the little bit of music I have in it, I keep getting strikes on. So instead of playing my extra video, I'm going to play a little graphic. We're going to loop it, and we're going to say goodbye otherwise. So everybody have a wonderful week. Happy printing, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. And keep an eye out for some videos coming from my channel. So thanks, everybody. Have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.